Let me just turn this down a little bit. Right, here we go. I'm watching this live. But when I play this on YouTube, it'll be on. What the hell? Oh wow. What can I do? So you can sit on this. They more higher then.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first Hogwarts Legacy gameplay stream. I'm Chandler Wood, Community Manager here at Avalanche Software, and we've got a lot of really exciting stuff to show you today. But before we get into showing you the game and gameplay, I have a few wonderful guests that I need to introduce you to. First up, we have our community guest host. He brings you the latest and greatest in Hogwarts Legacy content. He's the local Merlin conspiracy theorist.
Guilty as charged, yes.
One half of Expecto Go,
Yeah.
James Whitehead.
Thanks, Chandler. Yes, I'm James Whitehead of Expecto Go, bringing you guys the latest and greatest in Hogwarts Legacy content. And I am one half of Expecto Go, the better half. My wife, Sue, represents that other half. So I'm excited to be here, and thank you, Avalanche Software, for inviting me. I cannot wait to go over this game. I just got to say that.
Welcome, thank you for being here. And we've got two people from the studio, just two of the many people bringing this thing together.
Yeah.
The magic of Hogwarts Legacy. Game director, Alan Tu,
The
and senior
creators
environment
of the
artist
game,
and
yeah.
Hogwarts expert, Boston Madsen. So thank you for taking time out of your very busy schedules right now to sit down with us to help us show everybody gameplay. So what we're going to be showing you today, first, the character creator, because it's your legacy, and you have to create yourself when you get into to get into Hogwarts and bring your whole authentic self to Hogwarts. So we're going to show you that character creator. Then we're going to dive into a tour of Hogwarts, and it's just a small tour of Hogwarts, right? Because Hogwarts is huge. Hogwarts is really big. So we're going to be showing you a little bit, but it's still a lot. So, and finally, ending up with combat. A little taste of combat, a little taste of how all that works.
Let's go.
Just a little taste, yeah. So we're excited to get there. But again, first and foremost, we need to get into this character creator, and James,
I've been
if
waiting
you're
for
here,
this for ages.
we
So
wanted
more buddy
to,
updates to the game.
let
Coming
you
out.
create
There's
this
both come
character.
out this
So,
year. Was coming out next year.
Andrew, who is going to be doing all of our gameplay capture today, is going to be handing you the controller.
Oh my gosh. All right, I won't break anything. All right, so what are we looking at right here?
These are your presets. So a lot like other games, there's some initial settings that you can choose for your character that just kind of get them into like the ballpark of what you want to be, who you want to be, and what you want to change.
Oh man.
And then once you're in that ballpark, all the other tabs let you dial that in, be exactly who you want to be. It's our goal with this is to make sure that for anyone that fantasized
You'd
about
be
bringing
more excited
themselves
to
to
do
the
Star Wars.
school for the very
Yeah.
first time, that they feel like they have the options
watched
in
the
order
trailer
to
after this.
represent
You
who
might
they
go.
are and essentially bring themselves to Hogwarts or whatever character they want to bring to Hogwarts.
Oh my god, and options galore. Do you mind if I try to put myself in here right quick?
It's all about you
Okay,
today.
okay, all right. So, okay, yeah, that's me. We're here, that's me right there. All right, so that's step one.
We're pretty close, but let's look at everything.
That's my one
Okay,
there,
let's go over
Play
here.
around with some of these
I
options.
get
Like,
chain
really,
mail.
All right, so what are we looking at with this option over here with the
Fuck
tab?
yeah.
Let's see, face stuff.
Yeah, so a lot of the different faces that you saw in the previous screen, all those faces are choices that you have here. So you can now you're just kind of getting into the details in your face shape and your skin color.
Wait, is he
and then,
got like
because we knew a lot of people going right
early
in, you're going
access
to
to
want it
the
right away.
fucking
Yeah, it's an
gameplay,
option
yeah.
later in the game.
Yeah.
You can collect different types of glasses, put them on later. We give you some options right up front if you want to have glasses for your character.
Oh man! Oh my gosh! Look at the structure of the faces with this. Wow! You guys thought of
that's cool.
crazy. I like that. I don't think my face is that skinny, but I think we'll go with that. I think we'll go that route. And down here is this.
Those are your glasses
This
there.
gla-
Yeah.
Oh, so we start.
Harry
we can
Potter.
go Harry
Yeah?
Potter if we want. Oh, duh.
That's a Harry Potter one, isn't it?
Man.
Oh, is this glass?
And this is just
It looks
some
like a-
of the options, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so through the
What's
course of the
that?
game, there's a lot of different options that you'll keep unlocking.
No, it is though.
So
It's
as
not
part
like
of
the
the
actual
gear
Harry
for the
Potter
character,
glasses.
there's lots of different classes. There's even masks. There's all kinds of things over the course of the game.
Looks the same, doesn't it?
Victorian era, though.
Yeah,
It's very
Such a good
authentic.
call. Such a good call. Oh my gosh. All right, so now.
Oh, God.
Oh, we can go sleek on this one with the hair.
I spend a lot of time here just like dreaming about my different characters.
Oh, when I play
Oh
this
my
game,
gosh,
I'm gonna
the
be
funny-
editing
The
a
thing
lot
I'm
of
always amazed
customization
by
so I
whenever
can
see
just
any
fast forward to
aspect
the
of
game.
Hogwarts Legacy's character creator is just the texture.
I'm gonna be in this for ages,
And,
like, I'm
you're
the
even
correct
adding
character.
the bounce with the hair moving around. Yo, that kind of looks like Hermione a little bit. I'm not even gonna just like
Fucking
Fred. I'm not
okay,
Fred.
it does.
And we can just go. Can I go like Tonks purple or green a little bit?
Absolutely.
Oh. Yo, this is so cool. Oh, I like that. That is cute. Okay, so little
Dreadlocks,
I
isn't
used to
it?
have this type of hair
Yeah?
like way back, but
That looks like the one off The Walking
I
Dead.
wanted
So
so that was the closest I got to any color, but oh my gosh, this
So
is
cool.
so cool. So you literally
Oh,
can
that's
breed
cool.
yourself.
That one is that cool.
There's a
Yeah,
myriad
I'm
of textures and different hairstyles here. All right, so now we're getting over here to play around with some of the.
These are more subtle options. We've
Okay.
got freckles, moles,
yeah,
different
I'm
things
not
like
ruining my
when it
face
comes
with
to your
moles.
complexion, like darker eyes, maybe like some shading on the cheeks.
Oh man, you guys literally thought of everything with this.
I do have a bit of fun with that. And then the scars are one of those options where
I'm recording
Harry
as
has
well.
his own
So.
unique scar,
Yeah.
scar, but you can come in with different
Yours.
scar options.
Oh look!
Yeah.
Oh, I'm actually getting myself a scar on.
Oh wow! Look at that! I didn't even see.
Which one do you like?
Oh, those are my
The
favorite.
one with the big
things.
scars.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and get the one of Harry Potter.
you
On.
look
Is that
It's a
right?
classic.
Yeah, you look kind of just like tough. But
Do you reckon
now
you'll
we're
have
over
the Harry
here.
Potter scar?
Yeah.
Oh man,
It's like
this
It's like a.
you guys,
lightning bolt.
this is so sick.
I know, but it's thing, and then there's like a
Again, getting
line.
more subtle here. You know, really like dialing in that face to really get your.
I don't know how reveal like I want to be with my facial features now. Just like, yeah, I kind of have a big face. Yeah, my eyebrows kind of sit
I
kind
hope
of
they
low.
put the Harry Potter music.
But I
in
mean,
the
literally,
background.
you have so many options just starting the
I
game.
forgot the fucking
I
music.
feel like I'm going to be here like forever.
You and me both.
And then this final tab here, this is where you kind of bring your whole character together. You know, this is where you finalize everything. You're not choosing your house here.
in
That's
ages.
not yet.
That was a theory.
But you
I'm
know,
gonna
here's
be
where you
picking the
bring
story,
you choose voice 1 or voice 2, which is more kind of a masculine or feminine voice, and then even within that, changing your pitch,
what's
the pitch slider.
It's a subtle slider, but
Yeah.
but you can hear it,
concerned about. That was quite something.
and so you can kind of make out
That's
the
the one, isn't it?
differences. But yeah, you choose which kind of voice that you want.
Be able to help.
You'll be selecting your difficulty here.
Which one do you
Today, we'll
recognise
just
you
go
quick?
normal
Wizard
voice.
or witch?
Andrew's
Oh
going
no,
to
because
be
wizards.
taking us through some of the
Wizards
experiences
say,
with
but
combat
you
later.
can
And we
be
can talk a little more about difficulty, yeah, with combat and how that
No,
plays
but-
in.
yeah,
But
but
I
you could
think
be a
the important
witch,
thing
can't
here
you?
is like if for people who aren't
I'm gonna
gamers,
be a wizard
especially,
then. Still do the
story
same
mode is a
thing,
way to
so
get
can't
into
it?
this without being worried about like, oh, do I need to be good at games? Like, no, just enjoy this
No,
game.
witches can
Now we'll put
go for
it
more
back
spells
up
or
and
can't
go.
And then whether you want to be witch or wizard.
Amazing.
What do you think, character creator? We're good.
I'm good. Let's explore Hogwarts and let's get into some.
All right. Through the magic of using a dev kit, we're going to be loading up a save a little later
What's a
in,
dev?
so
so
that
that's
we
what it
can
was, a
show you
dev
more
kit.
about Hogwarts and give you that taste of combat. All right, Andrew's got
Oh my God.
gameplay pulled up for us here. We are starting out, James. There you are. You're wearing the House Fanatic robes from the account linking.
Thank you. I do look good. And this is our first look at the Hufflepuff common room, I'm assuming. I mean, dorm room.
Wait.
Dorm room.
Yeah. This is
Gryffindor.
awesome.
I'm gonna.
But Alan, what are we seeing right here with the UI?
Do you reckon you'll be able to
look.
pick?
So
because
right now we know there's been a lot of questions
Gryffindor's the one that Harry goes in, isn't it?
about the HUD
And
because
most
this
of
is
the
the
one
first time we're
that
showing
Hermione
it.
goes in.
So kind of going over it from right to left, on the bottom
I was
right
gonna say
is
that
what we
that's
call our
different.
spell diamond. So those are, everything that you see in it are slottable spells. So we have over 20 slottable spells that you can earn over the course of the game.
Okay.
And,
So they all
that's where the
friends,
player
and
can place them and use
they're
them
all
and
friends.
access them very quickly. To the top left of that is, you'll see the D-pad,
the pet
and
I'll
on
be
the left is an
picking
eyeball,
is-
and on the right is a bit of a grid.
I'll be picking an
So
owl.
the eyeball is an example of one of, not a slottable spell, but what we call an essential spell. There are certain spells that
I
are
hope
used
there's
for
a
very
card
specific
where that you
contexts,
can have friends in the game.
or that we
One
just
can
want
be,
on the
one can
controller
have
at
a
all
cat.
times. And
I'll
Revello
have
is one of
the
those. That's
thing, and
left
then
on the
one can
D-pad.
have rats.
On the right on the D-pad is that grid represents where you might
That's-
slot spells. And so
Trevor?
right now, today, we're not going to be going into the spell slotting menu because we feel like there's a
I
lot of
know,
spoilers
yeah.
there. You know, like what are all the
Never
spells and
mind.
what can't we
I would
do?
like spoilers, but I understand.
But we do want to make sure there's still some
Frog.
goodies left to share with everyone. And then on the left side, that thing that has the L1 button next to it, that's another thing where we don't want to spoil, but basically that's where you access your tool wheel. So there's a lot of magical tools that you're going to be kind of brewing and growing over the course of the game. And so that's where you would access them rapidly is our tool wheel.
Okay. Cool.
There are a few things that I left off the table on the right. The green bar is your health, and basically there's a potion next to it. That's how you might heal. The bar above it, we're keeping a secret for now. I apologize. And all the way on the left is our
Is that
mini-map
picture
with the kind
moving?
of overhead
It is,
view
isn't
of
it?
where you are currently in your common room that updates as you
I
travel
know that,
through,
but it's
Hogwarts
weird
and
seeing
beyond
it.
the
I haven't
world.
watched Harry
And for
Potter.
those
I'm actually going to have to
fans out there
rewatch
that
it
aren't a
before.
huge fan of mini-maps because we know they exist.
The game
There's also
comes out.
options to remove the mini-map
Oh,
and
cool.
turn on or off different elements
Cool.
of
Okay.
our HUD. But
Really
that-
immerse yourself.
Yeah,
And
and we'll go more into the spells as we get into combat, but that's kind of that's what you're seeing there. And this is our HUD.
Also, Andrew's giving us a good look over here. I want to call out. I'm a big fan of the bedside tables in the dormitories. Very nice bedside tables.
They are nice bedside tables.
Yeah,
The honey-colored wood was mentioned in the writing. It's part of lore.
it's part of lore. There we go. All right.
So now we're walking out into.
We really tried making these low-ceilinged dorms to give you that Badger set sort of
The
feel.
first thing I know is the music. The score is amazing with this.
Gorgeous.
So no, I
And
haven't
I'm
put the
calling
fucking
out
Harry
here.
Potter music in. Wow.
This is unique music that you're hearing for the Hufflepuff Common Room.
Turn it on.
Go back to those Common Room videos we released. You'll notice the music's a little bit different, and that is entirely intentional.
Don't read it.
We just want to welcome you to your common
You
room
look
in
like
every
Post
single
Malone.
house, just a little bit differently. Begin customizing that experience right away.
Oh my gosh, it's so awesome. Look at that.
So I mean, beautiful design. We could spend like the entire rest of the stream just in the common room here and talking about it, and I'm sure Boston and James could be like just geeking out over.
All the details come from J.K. Rowling's writings for this common room. The round doors, the hanging vines, even the dancing badgers on the
It's
fireplace.
got a real earthy vibe.
Yeah.
It's very, very earthy.
Which is like elements for each of the houses,
Yeah,
right? Like
Hufflepuff is earth, Ravenclaw's air, Gryffindor is fire, and Slytherin is water. We
Wow.
really leaned into that for each common room.
Wow.
So if it feels earthy, we've got a little earthen passageway. That's what we were. Hopefully, it should feel very familiar.
Yeah, it does. It does.
but I know you don't want to leave, but we're gonna be leaving.
Thank you. I understand. Whoa, the sound effects though. Like, looking back at the past trailers, it was just music, but kind of hearing how Hogwarts is now. It's so cool.
Very tactile.
Yeah.
Andrew's going to make use of one of our spells, Revelio.
Use Revelio right here, because there's a little magic going on.
Notice a little something. Yeah. So these are something that we kind of interchangeably call Revelio pages or lore pages. And you'll notice a bunch of things pop up on the screen.
Yeah.
You see that we got some
XP.
XP for it. And you can also see that we've advanced something called like a field guide challenge up in the corner. So I want to talk about that a little bit. So we had to ask ourselves, what?
Continue. I'm sorry. Continue.
There may be something you may or may not be able to tickle there.
Yeah.
But in our game, we had to answer the question, we're a late fifth year. What does that mean? How do we catch up to the other students?
Okay. Okay.
And so we have an answer to that question, and it's given to you by the staff. So there's something that we call the Wizard's Field Guide that's granted to you early on in the game. And the Wizard's Field Guide is how you actually work on catching up with the other students. So Andrew, if you hit pause for me up here, before we push forward a little bit, you can see in our pause menu, it's got this book theme.
Wow.
That's your Wizard's Field Guide. And you can see your house kind of crest
in the middle,
overlaid
yeah.
over it.
Okay,
Right? And you
okay.
can see that on your level as well. So that the field guide has this magical property of looking out into the world around you.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why it's on loan from the Ministry of Magic and the professors
So
that
cool.
granted it to you as a late fifth year student is because they want it to help you catch up to the other kids.
Mm-hmm.
And its magical property is to discover different opportunities to learn and grow all around you. So the way it works is as you discover gameplay in the game, it actually recognizes that as a challenge, which is kind of
On the bottom.
locked into there.
Okay.
And Andrew, if you go in there, you'll see different types of challenges that are combat challenges, quest challenges,
Wow.
exploration challenges. And you can see field guide pages are on there as well.
Yeah.
So
1%. We unlocked that one field guide page.
that entire category is one of the ways that the book itself kind of fills out into the school and spills out into the school and kind of hides itself with different types of challenges and different things to do around the school that you're
That is
actually going
so
to
cool.
interact with to help you grow as a wizard and practice your spells. And so that thing that we just saw is not just a field guide challenge and a way to earn
Yeah.
XP. It's also something that that players can use to learn about the school as they're traveling around. They spot these little secret facts and they can kind of play a little bit of a game discovering all of them. And there are over 100 field guide pages just in Hogwarts alone. So,
Little glimpse of the grand staircase
Yeah.
here. We're not gonna.
Circular staircase.
All the
match tower.
portraits.
Yeah.
And I did notice the flue flame just ignite right there, which was so cool.
yeah.
Oh, man.
Fast travel points there. House hourglasses. We had to. How much fun was it designing those and putting all
Oh, they're
those in
gorgeous,
there? But
but they're there just like in the books.
Yes.
Right
It's
next
a
to
nod
the
to
Great
lore.
Hall.
it's a nod
Yeah.
to lore. House points is not a core mechanic or system in the game.
we
It is
didn't turn it
narratively.
into like a gameplay system, but it's definitely present throughout our narrative. And there are lots of choices where we want to nod to things that aren't necessarily gameplay systems, but
Yeah.
but we nod to them as part of the narrative.
Over to the right
Part of the
there,
wizard
Andrew
world.
was teasing. That's the Great
Great
Hall
Hall.
over
Yeah.
through those doors. Again, we're not going there. He's just kind of like, no.
Cool.
Here's another collectible page. Just again showing you like just these things around Hogwarts that you can do and pick up and.
That's a shot straight from the trailer, too. Just that part right there. I recognize
We
that.
might be giving you a little fan service here with callbacks to those. So
And this must be summertime because I noticed these are the summertime windows. These windows will change with the seasons.
Yeah, the detail I put into this is kind of it. I get surprised by it all the time.
That's
didn't
a
even know that was a
sentient
thing.
magic castle. So.
Oh, man. And we're going out. Look at that.
This is where the students would normally kind of congregate, just to kind of chill out, play, meet each other outside of the Great Hall before and after meals.
And I love the way that when the castle interconnects to, that it interconnects outside, inside. There are pathways on both sides of things, so you really get a sense of scope
Yeah.
to how big this castle
And
is.
when you see things like you'll notice a bridge over there. That's a place you can go to and cross. Like
Yeah.
everything that you see is a place that you can visit.
Wow.
We put a lot of effort in making it feel really alive, not just with student population, but even just the greenery and stuff. It's Scotland.
Yeah.
And this castle's been here for hundreds of years, so it just kind of the moss and all the trees that have overgrown it and
Oh, my gosh.
that landscape, that
This
Scottish.
location might look a little familiar to you.
I thought I recognized it. I believe this is from the Spring ASMR, and yes, so that puzzle right there, that view, Andrew is taking us right back to
I
that.
am going to tell Andrew not to interact with that puzzle and to keep moving on. We can't spoil everything. We can't give you everything, right?
Hogwarts
So-
contains a lot of secrets.
Oh my God.
But this is this grand entryway right here coming down into a really kind of central area
Yeah, we're coming upon the central hall, and we pointed out the greenhouse outside, and we'll notice when we get down there that it's on the right.
This is a big hub of the school. Like it's a big castle, but it is designed so you shouldn't get very lost. This is kind of a grand central station.
I love that. I love
Each
that.
direction, it's green over there, so the greenhouse is over there. Transfiguration courtyard, the library straight ahead. So it's kind of the hub
Oh my
of
God.
a lot of the castle.
Even the color, visually, you can just tell, okay, green,
Oh, green, go that
greenhouse.
way.
Oh my God.
A lot of it'll be subconscious, but
Yeah.
it'll help you really learn the castle and feel like you know your way around.
That's not to say that it's easy to learn. All of us here still get pretty lost in it
It
on a
is a
daily
castle.
basis. It's a castle.
Great point.
I love that Andrew's definitely teasing a lot of things here. I'm noticing he's swinging the camera this way and that.
Yes.
He's got this grin on his face over there that's just like, yeah, I know what I'm
That
doing. I know
statue
what
is
I'm
from the reveal trailer. There's that dragon. Oh my
This
God.
is another location where the students will gather, and just kind of chill out.
And an opportunity to talk to somebody, get a quest giver here.
Is everything all right?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm Nellie, by the way. I'm just so excited that the Daedalian keys are back.
The what keys?
The Daedalian keys. Surely you've seen them flying about. Rumour is that a former headmistress, Professor Moll, conjured them to protect the contents of certain locked cabinets years ago. Professor Black couldn't be bothered to disenchant the keys, and they appear every few years. You should try to catch one.
Why would I do that?
Each key will lead you to a locked cabinet somewhere in the castle. If you can manage to get the key into the cabinet lock, not an easy task, you may find a reward.
Perhaps I'll give it a go.
I hope you do. In fact, I think I heard one of the keys in the astronomy tower. You should listen for them.
So those kind of side quests are really, it's a cool way to interact with your fellow students, with perhaps other teachers, with, various things like that, as well as teach you some more of the secrets of Hogwarts, I think. There's a little bit of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the students are a way to kind of like flesh out the school opportunities around it, what we can do. And then those interactions, different interactions with different characters can also offer different choice points for the player. And then some of those things can affect things game-wide. Some of these affect characters' lives, the ending of the game.
And sometimes it's just about you being a little bit of a nice guy or just being a jerk.
Yes, absolutely. So the scale really varies, but those opportunities exist for the player.
Wow, look at this.
This is the Dada Defense Against the Dark Arts.
Tower.
Which this is one of my favorite locations in the castle. Just visually, you come in here and just the richness of this area.
Very iconic, very unique to anywhere else in the castle.
Somebody else that we can talk to, notably a younger student.
Yeah, she looks like a first year or an 11-year-old.
Are you all right?
Don't you know who I am? Zenobia Noak, the girl whom everyone at school hates for no reason.
Everyone hates you. Why?
Because Hogwarts is full of bullies and spoilsports. Leander Pruitt's one of the worst, that no-talent moon mind. I wanted to make some new friends, and so I brought my collection down to the common room. My gobstone collection, that is. I was hoping someone would want to play. Are you familiar with gobstones? Little balls, like marbles. Grand game. And if you lose, they spray you with a foul-smelling liquid.
I haven't much interest in a game that sprays you with odors.
Only if you lose, which I never do. Or at least, not often. People can be so cruel. Just because they're sprayed all over with smelly gobstone spit, it's their own fault for losing. Imelda is one of the worst losers. Everett and Astoria are terrible as well. And now those poor losers have taken my gobstones and hidden them in very high places all over the school.
Sounds as if you caused the smelly situation and they responded accordingly.
I didn't make the rules. Anyway, I can't work out how to get them back on my own. I don't think I know the necessary spells yet. I need someone, perhaps a selfless and talented 5th year to help me.
I'll see what I can do.
I'd appreciate the help. If you do find all of my gobstones, do come and see me again. I'll be back to playing Snake Pit and Jackstone by myself in no time.
I love that interaction with her because there's so many ways that you can go with that. You can you can feel for her. You can be a jerk to her. You can be like, Gobstone sounds awful. It sounds like you're just mean.
Yeah, and your opportunities to be mean there aren't over. So,
so they continue.
That's a good example of the
Gobstones too. I know people are gonna ask. Gobstones playable? They mentioned it, right?
Yeah. Gobstones is one of the things that is not playable in the game. I know we've had to rip the Band-Aid off on a few things. Honestly, it's an amazing thing on the franchise how many things about this like speak to us as fans and that we want to turn into gameplay. And there were calls that we had to make over the course of production of kind of like which things we will and won't include in the bucket, just kind of for the overall
Wizard's Chess.
Those are things that aren't featured.
Yeah. They're featured within the world. Right?
I'm glad they're mentioned. They're a part of the wizarding world.
Yeah. Every single time there was something that we regretted because we couldn't include it. We also tried to figure out a way to make sure that it was included in the narrative, included in the stories, make sure that there's a way to kind of like acknowledge it, touch it, and make it feel like it's definitely part of the world.
And I know here too, we're like,
I was like, we're in the Fist Against the Dark Arts class. I recognize that staircase to the left where we were just at. Andrew was walking by. I also recognize the dragon at the very top. Oh my gosh.
Being in a classroom, I think this is a good opportunity to talk about how classes work because we've gotten a lot of questions about that. Is it a schedule-based system? Is it so tell us how classes work?
Yeah, so ultimately we decided not to go the sim route. So I think like one of the speculations was, is there time of day and that kind of thing. Like, can I miss class at this time of day?
There is a day-night cycle.
Yeah, there is a day-night cycle, but everything is very narrative-based, and so there's a big mystery going on in the world. There's something happening in the narrative, and we essentially see it as kind of like chapters in that narrative. Each chapter of which has a set of missions that you can choose between as you're progressing through the game, and classes fit within that structure. So there are mainline things that the players have to do, and then classes also appear on the sides as well as optional things that help you advance your spells. It's absolutely true that classes provide all of your major tools throughout the gameplay, your spells, your major abilities. You get to know the professors. Each one of them has these bespoke kind of events and moments in those missions. And then there are also additional opportunities outside of that through kind of like side classroom missions, essentially, where you can learn additional spells or things that you need in your adventure and also get to know the professors better.
And I just want to call out something that Andrew's been kind of showing off, ways to kind of interact with the environment and just engage with the world. And, maybe down there he's sipping some tea with the
Victorian high
society.
High society.
I just no wonder you like this area because we built it for like the purebloods and the Slytherins.
Oh, come on.
Well, like, speaking of lived in, like, the sound effects again, the chatter of the communication that's happening and the footsteps, like, it just makes it feel more alive.
Little events like that, brooms going
I
by
just saw a broom
overhead.
go by. Love that. The data tower was one example, but no two hallways should look the same in Hogwarts. It has a lot of personality. Every hallway should be a little bit different, and that's mostly to help orient the player, help you not get lost. But this is Hesperus Hall. That's a little nod from the Marauders, a name that came from the Marauders map. But every hallway will have a little bit of a different personality and
personality. I like that because
Yeah,
it does
character.
like Hogwarts has character. Hogwarts is its own character no matter where you go.
Yeah.
Feels just a little bit different.
Yeah.
a sentient castle full of magic for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
It's going to kind of
And
grow
full
and
of,
develop. Oh, I heard something.
Yeah. Speaking of characters.
Speaking of magic, Mr. Magic himself.
Future poltergeist creature.
We talked about building on lore too. I know there's that statue over to the side. That's
Do you know who that is?
Lachlan the Lanky,
Yeah,
and he's got his boat truckle friend. And I think if players don't know, there's another Revelio page there.
Yeah, there's a map of Argyllshire. We know the fat lady. hides there.
Hides behind it. That's right.
The third book. But sometimes a hallway has personality by how it looks, or we just passed a music hallway where the portraits have kind of taken it over, and so the sound makes it really unique.
All right, I gotta call this out here. I know there's been some criticism in the past that our trailers and our gameplay and what we've shown so far has not had enough owls. Okay, so here we are at the owlry.
They made an owl.
Directly at the owlry to show you all of the owls.
It's a lot of owls.
It's a lot of owls at the owlry.
I love the
owls.
fog rolling down that.
Great call, that. Great call.
But I also love that as I one of my favorite things about just kind of going around on the outside of the school is that all those things that I see are places that I can go to.
Working
that I can
on it.
visit. I just love that sensation, knowing that is real.
I love the Scottish countryside.
We're kind of closing out our mini tour of Hogwarts, and again, it was but a fraction of this enormous castle. But we're closing it out here in the Clock Tower, so another recognizable location. But this is where Crossed Wands, which is the secret, not so secret dueling club is that the students have put together. Professors definitely know about it, but they think they're being clever. And it's run by this Lucan Brattleby here.
Who's in a younger year, but we kind of like that that he's running things.
Hello, Lucan. May I use the training dummy?
Of course. I'll fetch it and give you a list of combinations to practice. Ready to have a try now?
That would be wonderful.
Be sure to cast all your spells before the dummy lands. If you need to stop practicing before you finish all of them, let me know.
And this is a really good opportunity to now jump into combat, because really in the game, this is going to be the first time where you yourself get to learn about combat and combos in a big way and in a new way. For me personally, this was where the game really starts to open up to the possibilities.
Yeah. So we've set up a training dummy, and this is kind of an activity where you're supposed to execute according to kind of the iconography on the top. Now, what we see on the top is the Accio spell, followed by 4 what we just kind of lovingly refer to as basic shots. There are certain spells what the wizards kind of use, just kind of fling. Andrew's using one now. And you trigger that by tapping R2 on your controller. So you can see in the corner R2. So if you tap R2, that throws out a basic shot. But that R2 is also your gateway to all of the spells that you might slot. So if you hold R2 instead, you can see how the diamond expands. And if we let go, you see how it contracts.
Yeah.
And so if you hold it again, it expands. And so when it expands, then all the spells that you slotted while you're holding that button can now be tapped with your face buttons.
Awesome.
And not only that, but over the course of the game, you can gain additional spell diamonds, up to 4 additional ones, so that you can slot up to 16 spells, pretty much instantly. And then that helped us
that's pretty
build
cool.
the fantasy of in combat, I need to be able to access things very rapidly.
Yeah.
And so you learn over the course of these events, how to juggle not just the spell casting, but also it reinforces an understanding of another feature of the wheel, which is their cooldowns. So as you're casting spells, just to make sure that you're not just kind of repeatedly using one thing over and over and over again, you can see cooldowns on the spells that he's using on the wheel. And then as you progress through the game, there are different things that can affect things, like cooldowns through your talents, different things that allow you to kind of juggle and adjust and update those things. And so if you hold down R2 and you tap the D-pad, it will switch between your other diamonds if you've unlocked them. And that's how you access all those.
Oh, man. Looks like we're about to get some action over here.
Yeah.
This was so good.
This is a great way to kind of learn how to pull things together,
So you
pull those
Leviosa
combos
right
together.
Here. Yeah. Tap, Accio, tap, tap, tap. Awesome.
Well done,
Andrew.
And that's just against the dummy, but I mean,
I'd say that's enough practice. You looked good out there.
Thank you, Lucan.
I say better to discover one's weaknesses during practice than during a duel. You'll be a fearsome challenger now.
I think now we can take on something a little more challenging. It's going to shoot back.
Now let's talk about some more features of the combat system.
Hello, Lucan. Is the next round of Crossed Wands all set?
Why, yes it is. I've got a great match lined up. Ready for another round?
We're on a PS5 dev kit here, so we're going to be able to kind of pause
I'm
the action and talk about what you're seeing on the screen, because there is about to be a lot going on.
Oh wait. Still going on. Fucking hell. How long is this bloody thing?
All right, here you can select if you want to fight with somebody else, some of your classmates.
Yeah.
But in this case, we're not. We want that action to feel a little more frantic towards you to really get you that sense of combat.
Oh god.
So apparently you've got quite the reputation because they've got you up against
three. Yeah.
Oh god,
the
that's
jump.
not good.
So I can explain this just because I know people are going to go into it, but we can probably just kind of jump in. You're not the only one that has Protego and the ability to deflect. The enemies do too. And we actually play with that when it comes to the spell casting. So you notice that there are different colored kind of shields.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
And you also notice that your spells have different colors on them. So to help players understand kind of like the function of their spells, we're trying to put them into brackets. So there are damage spells, there are force spells.
Nah, no,
there
that's just fucking good. This does.
The other one, all this control spells. And so those things for the player, they wind up also being a color indicator for which actual spell to use to break the different shields that enemies can use. That way it rewards kind of like that close attention that you're paying on things.
We've got this paused here now, and you can kind of see all the elements on the screen. The halo.
You
around
can pause the
avatar's
game like
head,
that.
Each of the different shields to kind of give us a breakdown of what's
Give us
going
a breakdown
on.
of different things that you're saying. So you notice at the top that we're kind of like calling out which enemy you currently have targeted and their level and health, and so as you target different characters, you'll be able to get that breakdown. The halo over your head, whenever an enemy is about to an attack, it's almost like you have a little bit of a sixth sense for those things that are coming. If you see the halo, it means there's an incoming attack, and if you tap the triangle button by default, then you'll be able to deflect that attack that comes in.
And I love that deflect where it goes off and like hits things up and kind of breaks things off walls too.
But also, if you hold the button, then it doesn't just deflect. It also deflects and turns around with a counter attack stupefy that actually stuns the enemy. And you can use that even in your combos and stuff. So if you're focused on a character, and you're doing your thing, and someone else attacks you, you can actually turn that attack into a direct attack on the person that you're comboing.
Back into gameplay here. Andrew's gonna pretty handily finish these other students off here to win this duel.
How fast it is.
Wow, that's good. Fucking hell.
Yeah, we really felt like in the movies, there's almost like it's kind of like there's this element of kind of like fencing from a very great distance.
That's such a good call.
And there are a lot of things that we had to do with our controls and combat system in order to kind of capitalize on that idea that's pretty unique to the Wizarding world.
Yes. Well, perhaps you should try that next time. The other duelists have already taken notice of you, but after that last round, they'll really have it in for you. You'd better keep practicing if you want a chance at winning.
Come on, finish
or at
already,
least
'cause I'm busy
surviving
now.
the next round.
I
I'll let you know when we're
I want to
ready.
move all up,
Hope to
let's
see you then.
Yeah, but not yet,
The
'cause
next
I want to
round is
watch
for
this
all the
first.
gobstones, so to speak.
And that is more or less
Shut
to
up,
wrap
Rob.
it up for us for now. For what we
I'll
want to
just-
show you, character creator, tour of
just get my pajamas
Hogwarts,
off,
and
so
just
anyway.
that little taste of combat. But we didn't want to leave you without maybe a little taste of something that we may show in the future, may show next time. So
we're
leaving
talking.
the castle, going out here.
More owls confirmed.
Owl mail. There's the owlry again. Yes, all of the owls. But yeah, just heading out here again to show you like from Hogwarts to the world beyond Hogwarts. And
That's why I'm giving
this is
Joe.
not somewhere where we're going today,
My old
but
camera.
we will definitely be taking you in the
fine.
future.
Yeah. That's mine. But I don't use it, so I got my
Glimpse
PC
at
now.
the
guys, so.
scale of the castle back there. All right, so we're gonna wrap things up here, but I hope you guys have enjoyed everything that you've seen. But I think, James, you may have a few other questions here at the end of things. So while we're done with what we're showing on the gameplay side, I know there's a few things that you want to pick Alan and Boston's brains about.
I would love that because there's a lot. All right, so some of these questions we